Hi, I'm Jesse with Canine Perspective, and in this video we're going to answer or address the question of why we keep some dogs muzzled. Typically, when we get dogs or when we suggest a muzzle for dog, it's more often than not because there's human reactivity and or human aggression, okay? When it's dog aggression or dog reactivity, we use them, we have them, but it's not as necessary as it is with a dog that is human reactive and or human aggressive, okay? Simply because, obviously, I'm a human, my staffs are humans. If that dog is human aggressive or reactive and that dog, bites one of my staff, I'm down a handler because, they're not going to be able to work, or they may not come back, because they're scared of being bitten or something. And now I'm permanently down a handler until I can find a new employee. So, since opening my facility in September of 2019, we've only had one severe human or dog bite to a human, and that was actually me. This here, if it's seeable, is a dog bite. It's 10 stitches. And the dog actually was not human aggressive. The dog was just stressed and in a new environment, didn't want to go in a kennel. Never been anybody prior. And has not ever been anybody since. That dog was a year old when I took him in for the board and train. It happened on the same day because I was trying to load him in a kennel. And that dog still comes to daycare and boarding. And we are now in October of 23. So that's been like about roughly 3 to 4 years on the dot. When we know a dog is already actively aggressive and or reactive towards humans, that puts myself and my staff at risk, and we really want to minimize that, okay? In most cases, when we take a dog that's human reactive or aggressive, they're actually training clients or are becoming training clients, so like everybody's on the same page. And so far, in the 4 years that we've been open as a facility, we have only had one dog, technically two, one dog who was a recurring client have to be kept muzzled, okay, 24/7. The other dog who was kept muzzled only came to us for like a week for boarding for a honeymoon. And I only took the case in because I just opened my facility and I needed money, so I was like, I took the dog in, even though there was no training or anything like that. And I told the guy I'm gonna have to keep him muzzled because, your dog's human aggressive, and he agreed to it. But if, that was an exception just because, I had a $12,000 rent and I had staff to pay, and, I'm building my reputation as a facility, as a brick and mortar. I needed the money. So other than that, we've only ever had one dog that needed to be muzzled all the time because my staff didn't feel comfortable handling the dog without a muzzle. And this client did do training with us. And in my opinion, they were not reinforcing the training well, or not at all, simply because, we have other human aggressive and reactive dogs that come here that have been kicked out of other daycares and boarding facilities because they've bitten people, and they've all gotten to the point where we can remove the muzzle and have them here safely. They typically arrive muzzled just in case on the handoff if something were to happen. But once they're here and they're in our care, we've had no issues. Okay, the staff feels comfortable. We may muzzle the dog if there's new staff that's training, and people make mistakes. Mistakes happen, accidents happen. So employing the muzzle just keeps everybody safe, keeps my staff safe. If things go south, we have that muzzle as a buffer. Everything would be okay for the most part. But yeah, and we got a lot of flack from that particular case because I ended up having to remove that client because she was very resistant or complaining a lot about the muzzle, and it caused some irritation on her dog's mouth here where the fur rubbed off. The fur grows back; it's nothing permanent. And I had told her repeatedly, time and time again, that we would not remove the muzzle because my staff wasn't comfortable. The dog was still growling at the staff. The dog had on occasion still gone after our staff member, And when we have all these, if we have, you know, 20 dogs that are human aggressive in our care and 19 of them have already progressed past the muzzle and one is not, that doesn't tell me we're doing anything wrong. That tells me that the owner is doing something wrong. We're not doing anything at all. So I had to remove that client because she was not being compliant with our, with a policy that I was establishing and reinforcing with that particular dog. And that we got a lot of flack from it from her and her friends. They left us a bunch of 1-star reviews, but I don't care because the staff, the safety of myself and my staff and the other dogs in our care is one of my main priorities with running my facility. So we keep dogs muzzled until we feel that they're ready, until my staff feels like they're ready. In some cases, we have dogs muzzled when we know there's going to be new staff around, and then if I'm around, I'll take the muzzle off, or if another more experienced staff member is around, they'll take the muzzle off and they'll put it back on just in case. Sometimes, there's a staff schedule change, and it'll be 2 newbies closing or something like that. So then we'll leave the dog muzzled so that the newbies can handle the dog safely and everything like that. It's not ever been an issue for a dog. We've never had a dog asphyxiate. We heard someone told us that their dog would asphyxiate with the muzzle on for an extended period of time. That's never happened. So we will use muzzles. We will reinforce muzzles. We will require muzzles for any dog that is human aggressive and or reactive. No questions asked. And if this is a policy that you're just not comfortable with, then there are plenty of other facilities that you can take your dog to that may take your dog in without requiring the muzzle. So other than that, that's why we use and reinforce the application of muzzles, and we'll continue to use them and not remove them until we feel like the dog is ready. Okay? I'm Jesse with Canine Perspective. Thank you for watching.